And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Elysees Raceway as we get ready for race 16 of the Snickers Cup Series. Got a co-commentator here in the booth, second one of the season, and it's a guy who knows a little something about road courses, road course ace Anthony McCrury, aka Silver Machine 9000. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, man. I guess it's kind of my new nickname, Road Course Ace. Hmm.
Well,
Anyway,
I guess I have to
what?
associate with road courses anytime that I'm talking about any of my NCAA races with the fact that back in season one you pulled off an amazing photo finish at Infineon, a track that most people wouldn't expect a photo finish to happen. So, whenever I think of road course races, I usually think of you anyway.
Hmm. I don't know how to take that. Anyway, anyway, yeah, it's great to be here. We're in France. This is a milestone for the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series, Mobile One and trucks, if you think about it, because we are just a stone's throw from where we were gonna have the French Grand Prix in the F1 series. But now I'm thinking that we might move it over here to Champs-Élysées because we were thinking about doing it in the Paris street course. However, this track seems to bring about a lot better racing.
Yeah, and this track apparently looks really complex too. Making reference over to in the Truck Series race, you and Dylan Young ended up getting together. You really have been brought up on road courses. You're really familiar with road courses. How complex a track is this from your point of view?
Very complex. The turns themselves are extremely hard. When you go down that long backstretch, you'll get to 170, 180 before you have to dive it down and do a sharp right-hander. Um, when you're in a truck like that doesn't have that much downforce, it is extremely hard to get the thing to turn. And coming out of the corner, I ended up hooking Dylan, which I'm sorry I hooked him. I was trying to get off of him, but it's complex because not only is it a very tight road course, but you notice that some road courses, most in fact, don't have walls to the outside. This is built very much like a street course that has walls on the sides. Other courses, for instance, I was just in Silverstone not too long ago, and we had no walls on the sides of the courses. And if we did have a wall, it was like, oh, I don't know, 300 yards away from the course. So knowing that you don't have that much room to operate, if you do go off course, it's a little bit more stressful on how to keep the cars on course. Other than that, it's just mind-bogglingly uh, difficult to go from such high speeds to such low speeds from the straights into the sharp corners. It's not like we have very many fast corners here at this track.
Going to the walls you were talking about, does that cause a problem as far as being able to maneuver around a wreck, as far as room to be able to find a clear path through the wreckage?
There's a little bit of runoff, but if the wreck is the right kind, being if it's takes up the entire surface and out into the grass, there's not a whole lot of room for error. You're gonna hit the wall or even scrape it. But if if the wreck stays on the paved surface, we may be able to miss it. If not, then good luck.
Another thing I noticed about this track, which is kind of unusual for a road course, is a lot of drivers in the middle of the pack. We don't have a whole lot of caution come out this track, and so during the green flag running, we see a lot of drivers be able to work their way up inside the top 10, even up as far as the top 5 during the course of these green flag runs. Why is that?
It's easy. People are battling for position. Up at the front, they're battling for position, but they're not a clogged group of cars. For instance, if you get into a tight group of cars in a restrictor plate race, you're going to move forward and you're going to be faster than a single car. On road courses and speedways, a group of cars allows a lot more because you have a lot more people to get around. And if you get the right line, you'll bypass a lot of cars that wash up the course. There's a particular line on this course that I've noticed. It's somewhere around the middle, but in the corners, it's not all the way down at the bottom. It's towards the middle. Anywhere lower or higher than that, and it's not the fastest way around. So if you're in a group of cars and you have a bunch of cars to the inside and your outside, if you go through that middle, they're gonna get some. They're gonna go a lot slower, and you're gonna be able to shoot through. And I think that's why being in a bigger pack of cars is a lot easier to get around, is not necessarily easy is the word, is a lot more efficient to get around, is because not everyone is running the exact same fast line. Everyone is running a different line. The leaders are most likely single file, so they run pretty much the same line. But back in the pack, they don't run the same line. Therefore, you can pick and choose which lines you want, and you can go the faster route and bypass a lot of cars.
Well, we got an interesting cornucopia of drivers from all sorts of different teams up here at the front. Dylan Young on the pole here for Penske Racing. Sean Henley to his outside. Tim Walsh, Kyle Sosnowski. Basically what I'm seeing here up at the front right now, at least for the first two rows, are drivers who are just outside of the top 10 in points, trying to work their way into the top 10 in points here today. And of course, every race leading up to race 26, these drivers are going to be making their moves to get into the chase. Is starting up front here going to be a key factor, or do you think, based on what we've seen in the past few races, that it's going to, is it going to matter at all, or is it going to be an advantage?
Starting up front is not necessarily the best place to be, but then again, we've seen that a lot of front people, we see a lot of drivers that start up front can stay up front. Reference Dylan Poteet and who was he battling the entire time?
John Cittadino, I believe.
Yeah, John Cittadino. Dylan Poteet and John Cittadino, they stayed up front pretty much the entire race. So starting up front is a good thing, but if you're in the back of the pack, and again, you can work your way through, I think that even back there near rows, I'd say back to about row 6 or row 7 could end up finishing uh, second, maybe even first.
Well, John Cittadino, Dylan Pote, you make reference to them battling back in the Truck Series race. They're actually going to be battling here today, not only on the track, but in the points too, as they're both trying to run down Danny Wells for the points lead. Wells comes in with only 11-point advantage over John Cittadino, only a 12-point advantage over Dylan Poteet. Those three drivers, I think out of all three of them, I'd have to give the road course experience edge to rookie John Cittadino, amazingly enough. But what do you think? Out of those three, do you think that we're going to see a different points leader leaving today, or will Danny Wells be able to still hold on?
First of all, out of all three of those drivers, I'm actually going to go with John Cittadino as well because he has a lot of road course experience, both him and Tyler Benoit. But I think that if Danny can get a good enough finish, then he will leave as the points leader. However, I'd be looking at Dylan Poteet. Watch out for Poteet.
Well, right now, as far as the qualifying advantage, it would go to John Cittadino. He'll start in the 8th position. We're going to find out where the rest of the drivers that are battling for the points lead as well for probably the potential win today are going to be starting. So we're going to get these cars rolling off. They'll complete a couple pace laps. And while they do that, as my computer has frozen up for a moment, there we go. And as they do that, we will show you the starting grid for today's race. It's going to be 18 laps around this road course. It's going to be really interesting because we've seen during the past few weeks and also in this weekend that usually it's not exactly where you start, it's where you finish. Taking a look here from the helicopter view as they're heading down this long straightaway and into the final turn. Anthony, we saw quite a bit of battling for the lead happen in this particular area of the track. Could this be the deciding factor in the finish of this race?
Absolutely. That's the last corner. People are going to make dive bomb moves. There's the pit wall right to the left side of the course, so there's not going to be a lot of room. But we are going to go green here at Chandelier, whatever the track's name is. I can't remember.
Elysees. That's okay, you're probably not alone. But anyway, here we go. Gonna go 3 wide already. Tim Wall shoved Dylan Young out of the way. And this is one thing I love about this track is these guys, they just go oh, well. Forget I even said anything. I was going to say they go crazy, and then they keep it together. I just saw Richard Johnson go around, and he's gone around again.
Ah, there it goes. Oh, wow.
And there's Poteet.
Oh, that's not good.
Doesn't look like he's
That's
got much
not
damage.
good.
He may have just spun.
That's one thing about road courses, that even though you spin, that's not necessarily a death sentence.
Jake Cole, he's spun around, and he's got damage. There's Mary Cole, 7th in points. Galligan, who came away with a nice finish in the Moblin Cup Series race. Joshua Michaels will follow this battle for the lead. Oh, Henley nearly turned Dylan Young.
That was close. Man, they're tight quarter racing. This is exactly what road course racing should all be about, is tight quarters and good passes, great competition.
Whoa!
This is a great
Whoa, Sosnowski!
Where did he come from?
He just got shoved into the corner full speed by Barney Ward, and Dylan Young was in the wall. Oh my goodness.
Second time Dylan Young has found the wall here at this course.
My goodness, that... I don't think Kyle Sosnowski even broke when he went into that turn.
He was trying to do a dive bomb to go and take the lead, but it didn't work out, and he ended up running right into the lot of them and ended up stacking up the field.
Wow. Cole Daly, Joshua Michaels, they're on pit road. Barney Ward, after that chaos there in that final corner, it looks like he's going to be the leader under the caution. George Roque second. Kyle Sosnowski, after that dive bomb and everything, he's going to be third.
He's got considerable left side damage though, but that's going to cause some aerodynamic issues going down this long straight. But I question his mental state when he tried that. That just was a boneheaded move to do that so early on in the race.
Well, I'm not rightly sure if he had a choice. I think he got hooked by Barney Ward and kind of almost wrecked himself there heading into that corner, and then he just kind of lost his head and didn't hit the brakes. But looks like the top 5 is going to be completed by Jake Rogers and Adam Chambers. We're going to take a look at a replay of the stuff that's gone on here. Crazy stuff already happening here on the very first laps of this race. Well, here's a look at what brought out the first caution of the day. First watch to the high side of Richard Johnson. Sean Galligan's going to get shoved by, I think that was Jordan Davis. He goes off the track there, and it's awfully difficult to recover when you get pushed in there, but I guess Galligan did because he saw him there. Oh, Mary Cole got turned around back there by somebody. I can't even tell who.
There's just a hodgepodge of cars right in the same spot.
There's another car turned around back there. Couldn't tell right off the top of my head who that was. It was a dark car, but I don't know who it was. But that wasn't actually what the caution came out for. The caution comes out for an incident up here. Oh no, they went 4 wide into this corner.
That is something that you never, ever do at one of these tracks. Not even in a desperate dive bomb move. Oh, they're 4 wide back there.
They were almost 5 wide behind them.
Yeah, that's 61, 93, 9. I think that was the 83 as well back there as well.
My goodness, and the amazing thing was they actually got through that okay, but then you got the contact between Derek Reed and Richard Johnson, and then he gets sent into Dylan Poteet.
Poteet was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that's a heartbreak for those guys, because I think they started just outside of the top 10 too. And to be that far up for the start of this race and end up getting involved in something this early on, that's got to be kind of gut-wrenching.
Remember what I said about those walls? See, if we were at any other track, you would have a little bit more runoff, but those walls are just right there, and you can't escape them.
Nope, right there. Dylan Poteet, he just kind of lodged behind the 47. You just got to ride it out, see if he can get by. And I don't know if they're going to get the wall or not. But the pace car
Oh,
had
they
already
didn't.
come
They
off
were.
of pit road.
They didn't get that wall. They were awfully close to hitting it.
Oh boy, boy.
Oh,
I don't know if Poteet even got it. I think it may have been Johnson who got the wall, and Poteet I think did not hit it.
he
Oh, and there.
was
Oh,
close.
Cole
Oh,
Daly
wow.
and Widos Avotas up into Jacob Lawler. That's how the
Oh,
17 got involved.
17 got some air as well.
And Cole Daly's running well in the points, fourth in the standings. Jacob Lawler sixth in points, and I've been saying it all weekend long, and it's uncanny. It almost seems like this road course knows who's running well in points, and it seems to target those drivers.
I think that what it is maybe the fact that the guys running up well in the point standings are just, oh, there's Poti getting turned around.
I think he made some contact with Joshua Michaels, and that spun the two of them around again. And I think, am I seeing wrong, or does Danny Wells, the points leader, got a little bit of front end damage on his car?
I think I do see a little buckle up on the nose. I don't know if there's anything internal or not. If there is something internal, then that is going to be a problem. However, front end damage like that, it's not that bad at a road course, especially at this one. The only place he's going to struggle really, if there's nothing internally wrong with that car, is down that long backstretch. But other than that, I don't think he's going to be hurt too bad.
No, and right there you see Pichu London not really able to make any move on him, so he apparently was up to speed still. I don't know if that's gonna hurt him in the long run, but Poteet, for all that stuff that went on, he looks relatively clear. Emilio Navrat, though, has got some damage. There are a few drivers I see that did get some damage. I'm almost wondering if Navrat was that car I couldn't identify back there before they even got to the first turn. Jake Cole's got damage. Just, I guess, an end result of cars just all backing up there and going crazy in the beginning stages.
Whenever there's a big backup and there's cars that are behind you going faster than you, there are going to be some incidences. And, some of this might not even be from spinning around. Maybe they just got all backed up and ran into each other.
Now we're working our first caution of the day. What do you think? When we go back to green, are they going to be ready to go 3 and 4 wide like that all over again?
I wouldn't, but that I won't put it past them to.
We're going to find out, so we head back to green. Well, we'll go back to green in just a moment. We actually got to look at this incident with Kyle Sosnowski heading to the final corner, and he did get contact from Barney Ward, and watch him come down. Oh, that's why he couldn't brake. He was off the course, so you don't get any grip to be able to brake there.
They are ball tires. They do not grip in grass.
And he slides right up into Dylan Young and Tim Walsh, who ironically enough were battling for the lead there. And look at Barney Ward, the guy who does the turning, just sneak on by on that inside line to take the lead.
I would be, I know it might have just been a racing incident, but there are certain things that you just don't, and staying on the back end of someone like that, shoving him through the braking zones, I mean, I know I tried to do that in a GT race I was in just not too long ago in California, and they gave me a 15-minute penalty for we were during qualifying. It was 15 minutes. I had to sit around and watch everyone else qualify because I shoved someone in the braking zone. NSCRA might need to look at that. If there was a braking problem with Barney Ward, I don't got a problem with it, but it just seems kind of fishy how he pushed him in, wrecked all the front runners, and then he took the lead. It's just kind of a coincidence maybe, but it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, I think a few drivers, when they look at the replay, they may have some words with Barney Ward, Tim Walsh, of course, Sosnowski, and maybe this guy too, Dylan Young. Remember we said at the very beginning that starting on the pole does not guarantee you a good finish, and there's a prime example right there. Dylan Young, maybe he can recover and get a good finish, but right now his quest to try and get back into the top 10 in points, I think, is taking a little bit of a detour. We're going to get ready to go back to green. We'll see how many drivers were able to repair their damage, continue on. So we'll head back for the restart. So Barney Ward out in front. Then you got George Roke second, Kyle Sosnowski, even though he did have some damage from that incident, he's third, Jake Rogers fourth, Adam Chambers fifth. Rest of the top 10 is going to be James Silverfox, Sean Henley, John Cittadino, Austin Ogo, and Zach Campbell. Now, Zach Campbell, he may be hard to pick out in this field because of him not running the usual Everham paint schemes, but he's back there, but he's in the number 9 DeWalt car. Because of this being a road course, he's doing the Marcos Ambrose scheme, even though it still is a Dodge, maybe hoping it'll bring him some luck. So far, he's stayed in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, Marcos Ambrose is a very well-known road racer. I've raced his car before in other series, but it's nice to see him in the Marcos Ambrose car as we go back to green.
Let's see if they're going to try going 3 wide again through this corner. Nope, only 2 wide. Oh, well, I spoke too soon.
Whoa,
what in the world?
Roar to the grass. 55, Sosnowski's around.
Oh, my goodness. Again, a battle for the lead, and it goes haywire.
And I think the big winner's the 93 of Jake Rogers and James Silverfox.
And Silverfox.
Man,
James
still
Silverfox, another driver who actually last week, I think, fell out of the top 10 in points.
Oh,
wow.
Silverfox
One thing I've noticed they
wall.
do through this corner, and Jordan Davis just did it, they'll run almost literally up against that wall. They could touch that wall if they want to, but somehow they don't scrape it.
They're going down through the DRS part of the track where we're going to have the F1 cars. The DRS is interesting. These cars can't have DRS, but DRS is basically when the rear wing opens up and allows faster speed, but these cars don't need it. These things are fast.
Jake Rogers,
wow.
He's the leader, and I'll tell you what, Jake Rogers, he's got a little something to prove here today. He was up inside the top 5 all day long in yesterday's Mobile Win Cup Series race, and he ended up getting wrecked in the final stages. He wants to win here today, and he will lead us under, I believe we're under the caution. See if the pace car is still in pit road or not. Yep, we are under the caution flag. I was going to say, if they didn't throw the caution, I'd be kind of surprised, but...
Wow.
I'm not seeing much grip out there on the track today, I'll tell you that.
Might be, I don't know what the weather's like right now. I need to get my weather bug up, but this is crazy. I've never seen a race like this in a, well, let me rephrase that. I have seen one like this, but not in a while. This is crazy. It's almost like that Atlanta race we had back in, I think it was like season 2, and everyone was just slipping all over the place and we couldn't find any grip.
Yeah, and there's the reason the caution came out, the 55 and the 48, and they were able to recover, but they're now 37th and 38th according to our scoring monitor. That's a tough break for both those drivers who had actually done a pretty good job getting through that first incident, and we're up inside the top 5. Again, this road course hitting drivers no matter where they're running.
And these two were up, I think, like 2nd and 3rd, and they just flat out ran off the course.
Yeah, I think they actually went 3 wide up there again for the lead, and that's what caused this whole thing. Barney Ward slipped back some too as a result of it.
I would almost say that they need to come down pit road and loosen up their cars, because it just seems like right now they're just really, really tight and unable to turn it. Other than that, these guys are doing a great job saving the car.
No doubt about it. They're putting on quite a show. Maybe just getting a little too aggressive too early. Maybe they need to keep it single file for a little bit, but I guess the position is the greater reward than just being patient. We're under the caution for the 2nd time today. Jake Rogers out in front. Take a look at a replay. Well, here it was coming into the first 2 turns. And the incident is actually going to be started by the guy who's leading, Jake Rogers. And you see Roke. I think Roke's going to bump into Barney Ward. Rogers going to turn Sosnowski around, and chaos ensues.
That's the 2nd time he's been turned like that. I don't know. Maybe there is something wrong with that car. Maybe he was a lot slower than Rogers was, and he just gets turned around. Now, I don't know what happened to Roke and Ward, but they just kind of threw it off the course.
Boy, George Roke, his brakes looked like they locked up. I think I saw the rear tires go counterclockwise, which is an indication of him not being able to get off the brakes. I think that's what happened to him, but
there might be something wrong with the brake differential. It might be set to forward mount, and that's why it kind of snapped around on him. But that's just kind of strange. It's like these cars can't find any grip, and I know it hasn't been raining. It just might be really hot and slick down there, and Maybe I've noticed that there's not really a lot of grass around this track. It's mostly dirt, like at Sonoma. So maybe there's some dirt that's been washed up on the track, and they just haven't cleaned it off, and that's what they're slipping on.
Yeah, that could definitely be it. I mean, we had that first big incident take place in this area with Sean Galligan going off and everything. If we have just a little bit of wind, it's going to carry that dust that goes in the air, just lay it right down the track. And so that could be a big part of what's going on here. And right now, it's looking like Michael Waltrip Racing, they were up pretty close to the front of the field, and there's the 56, the 55, the 15, and the 44 all together here now in the back of the pack. So Michael Waltrip Racing having a little bit of a difficult time here right now with Champs-Elysees. We're going to go back to green. Again, another incident up at the front of the field puts us under the yellow. Getting ready to go back under the green flag. Jake Rogers is the leader. Second place is John Cittadino, who, remember, is battling for the points lead. Then it's Chambers, Silver Fox, Henley, Barney Ward, Jordan Davis, Ralph Mason's now in the top 10 and 8th, Zach Campbell 9th, and Austin Ogo completes the top 10, so both Burger King racing cars are in the top 10. And Anthony, we've gone through 7 laps, we've had 2 cautions, and everybody is still on the racetrack and on the lead lap.
That is only something that will happen at a road course. Here comes 3 wide again.
Save it! They did! They kept it green!
Oh, wow. And now Cittadino's in the middle. You got Rogers down on the preferred line, and he's going to take that. Now they're going to single file out. But I would be careful about Cittadino. He knows how to run at this course. So, just watch out.
Oh, look at Adam Chambers. He's coming on strong so far this season, trying to go for his second career Snickers Cup Series championship. And he just last week jumped into the top 10 in points. He's been trying to get this young Ray Everham team going, and right now looking pretty doggone racing up here, battling now with John Cittadino, who I actually just remembered actually could try going 2 for 3 this race weekend since he won the Truck Series event.
That is true. Cittadino is one of those people that knows how to get around these places no matter what he drives. So he is sitting in the catbird seat right now. And, wow.
Roger Cittadino loose, and they save it again.
Holy cow, they're getting really close to that wall. You heard of rim riding at super speedways and speedways, but rim riding at a road course?
What a shove!
There goes Rogers, and there goes Cittadino. Rogers almost played tag with the dirt, and they're 3 wide behind. Holy cow, great racing here today.
Good gracious, I don't even know how Rogers held on to that car through that corner, because I thought he was going to kind of pull a Sosnowski or George Roque and lock up the brakes, and somehow he's still up here battling for second place.
Wow, Chambers is brushing death with that outside wall. Holy cow.
Take a look back here. Zach Campbell up here with his teammate for Ray Everham Racing there, that number 9. I think that number 9 of Marcos Ambrose on that DeWalt Tools Dodge, I think it's bringing him a little luck.
I've noticed that certain paint schemes bring certain drivers luck at certain tracks, and right now it looks like the Marcos Ambrose DeWalt scheme is bringing good luck at Champs-Elysees.
I got to ask you, John Cittadino, 2-time winner this season, is he looking for a victory to get the points lead, or is he looking for a victory to lock up a wild card spot and get himself into the chase? Which is more important to him right now, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. He's doing really well in the standings, and he is closing it. Oh, caution's out.
Caution's out. I don't know what for. Oh, Trent Whitney.
Oh, no.
Season 3 Snickers Cup Series champ, dead last in points. He still can't buy a break.
He was doing really good, too. I mean, wow.
And Matthew Rodriguez, I think, actually, I was about to make a reference to Matthew Rodriguez a moment ago. I think he was up inside the top 15.
That's not good.
Oh my goodness. 2-time NNSCRA champion Matthew Rodriguez. 1-time NNSCRA champion Trent Whitney. A couple of champions together here. And I have a feeling this time, as we saw Matthew Rodriguez DNF, I think we're going to have a few retirees now. We got away with it the first 2 times. I don't think we're going to be as lucky this time.
And it looks like that both Whitney and Rodriguez are going to go out of the race. So that's 2.
It looks like it was only those 2, and boy, I'll tell you what, if we got away with only a 2-car incident, I think we'll be awfully lucky. I did think I saw smoke back in one portion of the track, but could have just been dust. Anyway, the caution's out. 2 drivers involved. Citadino still out in front. We're at the we are at the halfway point. So we'll take a look at our 3rd caution of the day. Taking a look here, what happened to Trent Whitney. This is probably, I think, going to be one of the more violent wrecks I've seen taken here at this track. I don't even know how it starts. He's got Ralph Mason right behind him. And Whitney just seemed to kind of come down in front of Mason and gets then, I think, hooked around by the 87 right there. Yep.
I think it might have been that the back end of his car washed out. He did get hooked, but you notice he came off that corner. It looked like his back end washed out and like he was really loose, and it just kind of plowed right down into Mason. Oh!
Wow. And then watch Matthew Rodriguez. Nowhere to go, just jacks up the 98.
Oh!
I'll tell you, Chris Darlington
Ow.
did a nice job getting through that wreck.
That was some great driving by Dollerton, and that just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he down, but I think he got loose.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It almost looked like he kind of thought he was going to hit the outside retaining wall or something, turned it down a little too far, and just spun off the nose of Mason. I don't think you can blame Mason in that event. Oh, and Danny Wells sideswiped Matthew Rodriguez. And look at his car go sideways.
Wow.
Does he save it? Yes, he did.
Wow, he used every little inch he had of this track.
Wow.
That wouldn't have been so scary if that wall wasn't right there.
Now, I don't know if that's going to add more damage to the 31 and maybe have him off the pace or something, but that certainly could have been a lot more catastrophic than it was.
That could have ended in utter disaster.
Wow. That's some expert driving right there. I honestly think any other driver, he might have probably hit that inside retaining wall, because he probably had, 2-3 inches between himself and that white wall?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Have you ever...
That's why he's the points leader coming into this race, I guess.
Have you ever noticed how Sosnowski really likes that wall, no matter what track he's at?
Yeah, I know. It seems that way.
I don't know. That's Danny Wells for you.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable stuff going on here. We're halfway. We still got 50% of this race to go. And I can guarantee you, I think we're not done with the surprises that are probably going to come our way in the remainder of this race. Getting ready to go back to green. Once again, when we go back to green, we'll have a total of 8 laps to go. I don't know if they can make it the rest of the way, green flag racing the way they've been going, but hey, stranger things have happened with Citadino, 2-time winner out in front. Rest of the top 10, Jake Rogers, Barney Ward, Adam Chambers, Sean Henley, he's been steadily staying up here in the top 10 and 5th. Then it's Campbell, Davis, Silver Fox, Austin Ogle, and Charles Jackson now makes an appearance in the top 10. We're starting to see now, kind of like what I said at the beginning, drivers who were in the middle of the pack now starting to work their way up into the top 10.
Rogers didn't get going at all. He just kind of got blown by Barney Ward on that start, but Citadino got away.
Got 3 wide battle going on back here. Zach Campbell there. Now, Zach Campbell, I'll tell you what, he's been actually putting together some really good runs lately. I think he finished runner-up last week, if I recall. And now he's up here inside the top 5 again, looking for his 2nd straight top 5. He's been doing a good job.
Wow, what is it about these drivers in that wall?
I tell you, it almost looks like they carry a little bit too much speed into that corner, and they almost pay for it.
Dude, I mean, like, that's crazy how close they're getting to that wall now. To give you a reference, there's a part of a track in La Colina, Spain, which the F1 series is going to, that is a very Daytona, like, it's like the tri-oval in Daytona, and you go flat out, but there's a wall to your left and to your right, and it's not very, whoa!
My goodness, and wow, look at Citadino. See that block he threw on Barney Ward.
Wow, he is mirror driving right now.
I'll tell you what, I look at the top 3 as he gets shoved. Citadino got shoved by Barney Ward.
He's going to save it. I think he saved it.
He not only
Wow.
saved it, but he's still dead even with Barney Ward coming to this corner. I think Barney Ward's going to be advantaged though, but I'm not surprised to see these three up here at this particular moment in time. Barney Ward had the pole for the Truck Series race. Citadino won that race, and Jake Rogers was in the top 5 for most of the Mobile Cup Series events. So these three have had quite a bit of experience up at the front here at this particular track this weekend.
They did their homework on this track. I don't know what the history of this track is, but
Wait a minute,
apparently
wait
they
a minute. Why do we only have 4 cars here?
We're missing the
We're
field.
missing
Where's
a
the
lot
field?
of drivers here, and
Was there a backup?
they're saying this is a battle for. Oh, maybe we had a caution. Oh, we did have a caution, but why did the field spread out like that?
You know what? Maybe the caution came out after the top 4 crossed the line, and the rest of the field got caught on the
It
line.
could very well have. You may be correct. As we may have a battle for the lead coming down to the
Whoa,
stripe.
3 wide. Wow, Citadino tried to get the edge on Rogers, but that wasn't good enough. Barney's going to lead at the line.
My goodness, and caution. Oh, Dylan Poteet's the caution.
How many times? This is Dylan's, what, second wreck he's been involved in?
I believe so, yes. And
Dylan just cannot
Poteet,
catch a break.
Dylan Poteet, he was leading the point standings for a while this season. He was leading the points for a while last season. But Dylan Poteet, regardless of all that, he is still on a winless streak. And I've lost count now as to how long that winless streak has gone. It looks like it's going to continue today as he's actually coming down pit road. He just can't seem to catch a break in that 78 team.
Tweenix Racing, they started out the season really good, but lately they've just kind of fallen off.
Yeah, and Dylan Poteet, as we mentioned, third in the point standings, trying to run down Danny Wells, and he's DNFing.
Well, I think Danny Wells just, unless Cinedino, if Cinedino wins this race, then I think that Danny might be in trouble. But if Cinedino doesn't win this race and Danny can rally up and get a good enough finish, I think that Danny might leave us the points leader. Other than that, I think that maybe Cinedino has this wrapped up.
Yeah, when we go back to green, we'll have less than 5 laps to go. We will get back to green. Citadino is in the 3rd position. And looking at the live points, in order for Danny Wells to still be the current leader, he'd have to be running in 14th place or better. Let's see where he is currently running. He's back in 29th.
There you go. Cinedino's your points leader.
But
As
then
of right
again,
now.
we got to keep in mind, a lot of drivers up at the front have had problems here, and anything can still happen. Not to put a jinx on Citadino or anything, but we've just been seeing it over and over again, and I don't think it's going to be any different here in the closing stages.
When you think about it right now, Citadino is sitting in a good spot, but if he's not careful, he could lose it.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we've seen Citadino in the last few laps make some pretty aggressive moves, too. Is it possible that one of those moves is not going to pay off?
Well, he's sitting in 3rd, so what I'm thinking is that maybe if we've seen that the top 2 usually are the ones that clash together in the first corner on the restart, he's sitting in a great spot because he could probably get advantage if both of these drivers kind of miss their turning brake zone and miss that apex. Then he's going to scooch on by and take an easy lead. Now, is that good enough for a win? I don't know, but we're going to find out.
Well, I think we're in for a pretty exciting final saga of this race, but we're going to step aside real quick, look at a replay of what happened to the guy who came in 3rd in the point standings, Dylan Poteet. Well, apparently Dylan Poteet's not going to be the only driver pretty disappointed about this wreck. Adam Chambers, who was inside the top 10 all day long, he's going to get hooked around by rookie Jordan Davis, and that's how this whole thing ensues.
That's why that we were only having 4 cars at the front of the field, because everyone got stacked up, and as soon as that happened, the caution came out. But
Yep,
4th place
like,
had already crossed the line.
Yep, Henley was the last car to cross the line there. Oh, Eric Burton going to get a piece of it. He had just gotten himself up into the top 10 right there.
Man, a lot of these drivers are just not catching a good break. I mean, they haven't done anything wrong, and they're just getting caught up in it. But then again, this is a tight track, and it's like Martinsville with more with more corners and higher speeds.
Yeah, you know that incident there with Chambers and Jordan Davis almost kind of looked like the incident you and Dylan Young had coming off that corner. So apparently, other drivers really having difficulty with that final turn. And watch right there, Richard Johnson and Dylan
Oh,
Poteet just run straight into the back of Chambers. And if I'm
that
not
right.
mistaken, wasn't it Johnson and Poteet who brought out the first caution?
They find themselves wrecked again. You, that does. It's just weird though that it only happens in this one corner where everyone just cannot seem to stay off of each other. What I think it might be is that because it's a slightly downhill slope going down on the main straight, that they just get a good run and they just can't slow down in enough time and they just hook each other.
Yeah, the banking not exactly helping them out in any way. And a lot of times you think about banking, and usually it's there to actually benefit these drivers, but apparently they just carry too much speed into that final corner, and this is the result. And obviously Dylan Poteet's a tough break for him, but he was running at the back of the pack. The big tough break has got to be for Adam Chambers, who was up basically, I guess we could say, inside the top five for a majority of the day.
Yeah, but it was weird how Poteet was able to nurse the car around the entire track and then DNF.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, it didn't look like Poteet had that terrible amount of damage, but then again, when you keep in mind, he was probably going somewhere between 85, 90 miles an hour, too, and ran to the back of Richard Johnson, so there may be something underneath the hood that was causing him problems rather than externally.
Hmm. And maybe he was just really frustrated too and something. And I've been known to. I don't know how many other people do this, but I've been known to, when I get really frustrated and I know I'm not going to finish well, I just drop out of the race. And I don't think Dylan would do that, but you never know.
Yeah,
There could have.
never know, but
I'm really betting on it was something engine wise. I mean, that just does not sound like Dylan just to drop out of a race.
now we've got more DNFs here. Anthony, you ready for a shootout?
I'm ready for a shootout. The question is, are these drivers ready for a shootout?
Oh, I think they are. Hopefully, they'll run the entire shootout under green. However, I don't want to put anything too hard for them to do, as we're getting ready to go back to green. We're going to see just how many laps we're going to have left to finish off today's event.
Okay.
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be a 5-lap shootout. Or no, actually, I'm sorry. It'll be a 4-lap shootout. When they get back to the green, the leader is Barney Ward. Second place is going to be Jake Rogers. Then it's Cittadino, Henley, and then Jordan Davis, the guy who got into Chambers on that last caution, is the top 5. As the green flag comes back out, let's see if they can keep it green for the rest of this race.
I'm not betting on it, but they might be
Rewind for
able
a
to do
second.
it. Okay, that's exactly why I don't bet on it.
Henley making it right down to the bottom of Cittadino and Jake Rogers for the second position. That's going to play out into the favor of Barney Ward right now, who is trying to continue on the success that the Richard Childers cars have had. He and I believe Chris Dollerton are the only 2 RCR cars who have not gone to victory lane yet this season.
Barney's been really close to victory lane, so I mean he's in a great spot right now. If a caution comes out next lap, I don't think they're going to be able to go back to green. So if he can make it around for this lap and maybe another lap, I think he's going to be good to the finish. And I am getting really scared with these second place battle.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we just jumped back to the second place battle, they had just then settled out the 3 wide between them. They had kept it going that whole entire time since the drop of the green.
That just shows you how evenly matched these drivers are when it comes to these cars. Whoa, no!
Henley's got the wall and somehow hangs on to it.
Barney Ward got a piece of the wall too. Did you see how Cittadino just kind of closed in on him? Jake Rogers, I think he got that turn, that downhill slope into the front straight. He just couldn't slow down in time and ran right over Henley and not Henley. Rogers. Not Rogers. Who is it? Wow. Anyway, the driver that hit the wall.
Barney Ward.
Yeah.
And right now,
Anyway.
we got ourselves a 2-car breakaway, and amazing as it may seem, we're still green.
I got caught up in the moment. I'm sorry.
It's just too exciting. You can't speak.
Can't. Words. words.
We were talking about Tweenix Racing with Dylan Poteet's hardships, but Henley seems to be the one today carrying the Tweenix Racing flag, currently in 3rd place. And how about Burger King Racing? Austin Ogo now 4th with Rogers 5th.
And I mean, Burger King Racing, underfunded, but definitely showing that they got muscle. Both of the cars in the top 5, I'm betting that's where they're going to finish, too.
Oh, we're going to have a battle for the lead here, possibly.
Oh,
Barney Ward
Henley
trying
got
to
a piece
keep
of the
it
wall.
off the wall.
Barney looks like he might have had to check up, and that opened the door for Citadino. However, it looked like that maybe Henley got a piece of the wall too, and that opened the door for Austin Ogo.
And Barney Ward, the lucky thing for him was Citadino had to try and go to the high side of him, which gave Barney Ward the advantage heading down into the first corner. So that was a plus for Barney Ward right there, and that helps him keep the lead.
But I would be very scared if I was Barney Ward, because not only is he got to hold on for another lap if they don't go a caution, he's got this lap in the final lap, but he's got Citadino breathing down on his neck.
And Citadino's looking down to the bottom here, perhaps. Barney, we're going to throw the block. They got to keep it green. Down to the start-finish line for us to finish this race under the green.
Citadino underneath, looking. He's got the advantage coming into the next corner. Does he have enough?
Barney, we're going to try and get that outside line going.
That's the line I was talking about, right through the center of the course.
They're dead even down this straightaway. Barney, we're going to take the advantage now. What he's got to hope is Citadino overdrives this corner.
I don't think he's going to do it. Nope, Citadino is going to... Whoa!
Oh my goodness, nearly getting into the left rear was Barney Ward, and the white flag is out, and it's John Citadino leading. But look at Barney Ward. Look at Barney Ward. He used the crossover.
He's going to try and dive it down to the first corner. He's going to get him, I think.
Barney Ward used the crossover. Here comes Henley.
Here comes Henley. Here comes Ogo. Here comes Burger King. Anybody want a Whopper? Because here they come.
Goodness, they are coming here in a hurry. And Barney Ward got back to the lead with a crossover move out of the final corner. Now he's just got to hold off Citadino and he'll have this thing wrapped up.
That could be the winning move of the race. But we got Citadino. We got Henley. We got Ogo, we got Rogers, we got 5 cars in a train right here. This looks like the end of the 3rd NCGMers 500, where everyone was in a train for the final 2 laps until the very last lap. Here comes Citadino again.
He's going down low again. Trying to become a 3-time winner in his rookie season.
Here comes Austin Ogo. He's going down low on Henley.
He wanted to go through the middle, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, man.
It's going to come down to this final turn right here. Barney Ward, Citadino, Henley.
Corner. Citadino's got the advantage.
Oh, trying to clear him up this corner. Barney Ward can try
Citadino.
Citadino's got it.
Citadino. Holy cow.
Wow.
Dude, 5 cars. Citadino, Barney Ward, Henley, Ogo, and Rogers all right close together. All of them had an equal chance to win, but good lord, did you ever think that it would come to a last turn pass?
Oh my goodness, the rookie sensation of domination gets it done again. John Citadino's making history here in this one race. He's become a 3-time winner in his rookie season. No driver has done that yet. He also gives Earnhardt Ganassi Racing their 2nd straight year with a 3-time Snickers Cup Series winner. It was Chambers last year, and John Citadino, with this performance today, is now the new Snickers Cup Series points leader.
Man, he's got to be feeling real good today.
Oh, and throw into there that he's gone 2 for 3 here this race weekend, too.
Apparently he found his mojo, and Citadino, 2-time winner here at this track, 2 different series. But hey, dude, you got to watch out for this guy. I mean, I am betting that if he has this good luck, keep flowing through, he is going to be your Season 5 Snickers Cup Series champion.
He's certainly en route to it. I can't say it right now, but with what it's looking like, being a 3-time winner with this season slowly wrapping itself up, Citadino could definitely have himself in position for a wild card spot, provided he doesn't finish top 10 in points.
Right. I mean, but think of all the drivers that have had such bad luck today that we don't normally see have bad luck. I mean, Dylan Poteet, Danny Wells, the list just goes on. I mean, it's just strange. I mean, this track definitely knows who's running well, and today Citadino was able to tame it. But this if Darlington is the lady in black, Sean Elysees is the dude in black.
No doubt about it. I mean, this track, just unbelievable, and what great job by those guys keeping it together for those final 4 laps to keep it green and give us that kind of a finish.
That was definitely well worth it.
My
Great
goodness.
road course racing. That is what road course racing is all about.
As always, we got to take a look at our top 10. Citadino gets it done. Barney Ward, so close again to getting the win, but he comes in 8th or 9th in points rather, a second place finish. I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that.
No, not at all. Good drive by Barney Ward. I mean, that was just the hold off Citadino to first of all do the crossover to get around Citadino again. That was amazing. But dude, Barney Ward, great drive. I know you finished second, but hey, second ain't bad.
Jake Rogers, he's going to get 3rd. Austin Ogo 5th. The meat in that sandwich, no pun intended, was Sean Henley. Burger King Racing, that was pretty impressive for both of them, especially Austin Ogo. I'm not exactly sure where he started this race, but he worked his way up through the field pretty doggone sneakily because I didn't even see him coming.
They made a whopper out of Sean Henley.
No doubt about it. Zach Campbell, that 9 car, the DeWalt colors, gets him to a 6th place finish. He continues on his streak of good finishes, and Jordan Davis, another rookie with a good run. But take a look at 8, 9, and 10. Drivers I don't think we even talked about today. Charles Jackson, Rohit Vidarvu, and our Mobile One Cup Series winner, Trent Dunham.
Think about that. I mean, I didn't even. We didn't. They weren't even on the same planet earlier in the race. I mean, I didn't even know where Dunham was starting at, but he just came out of nowhere and he gets the top 10.
And you take a look at this. You got John Citadino, Trent Dunham for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. They finished top 10. Barney Ward and Rohit Vidarvu for RCR. They finished top 10. And then, of course, you got the Burger King guys. Some teams really figured out this track here in this event.
I just wonder, do you think that maybe the Burger King cars maybe got some French snails to put in their Whoppers this weekend?
If they are, I'm never going to Burger King again.
Uh-huh.
We are starting the boycott of Burger King here on the Raceway Sports Channel. Just kidding. We're going to get sued by Burger King.
At least in France.
Oh, man. Unbelievable stuff going on here today, and what an incredible finish. Anthony, I want to thank you for joining me for this.
Oh, this was amazing. This is probably the best race I've co-commentated in a while. This was just nonstop action to the end, and that finish was definitely worth it.
No doubt about it. John Citadino, no doubt about it. He has earned the title Rookie Sensation of Domination, the first 3-time winner of the season, and the first driver in his rookie season to become a 3-time winner in the Snickers Cup. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. Enjoyed this finish. If you didn't, you're crazy. Give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Subscribe to Silver Machine 9000. I'll put the link to his channel in the description. And then guess what? He'll be back too. We'll be having him for Mobile One Cup Series at Indianapolis for commentary. Back, I believe that's when the chase actually happens. So that will be a while, but we will be having him back in the commentator's booth. So looking forward to that.
Get ready for some Indy racing.
Oh yeah, and if it's anything like today, we're in for a wild one.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time. Here comes your official finisher results, your official points with your new points leader, John Citadino, and your rookie points as well. John Citadino was actually leading in that as well. So be sure to keep it here for more races coming out soon. Seth Cole and Anthony McCrury signing off. You've been watching a production of the NSA Sports Channel, offline racing at its best.
Woo!